Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Brandon from Audio Addiction. You already know they dropped two new Sleep Token tracks. I want to give a massive shout out to anybody who's checked out the first two of the reaction videos, being The Summoning and also Chokehold. Those pop off. I've been listening to them nonstop, and I am just getting hyped again for this album that is going to be coming out. They are just absolutely just putting out all of the singles. I'm gonna be surprised if they actually have an album by the end of this, just by the amount of songs that they've released thus far as singles. But hey, I'm not gonna complain. I'm a Sleep Token stan, so I'll take it. But yeah, if you haven't checked out the first videos, definitely go do that. If you feel so inclined to do that, I would greatly appreciate it. But tonight we're gonna be listening to the two newest songs, being Granite and Aqua Regia. Or Regia. I'm not entirely sure. I am very terrible at pronunciating words, for those who are unfamiliar. But yes, I absolutely am stoked to check out both of these. If you are new here, I'm going to listen to the song, give you my thoughts and opinions on it, react to it as per usual, and obviously we'll close out and see thus far how the album's shaping out to be. But let me know in the comments what your favorite song of Sleep Token that's been released thus far has been. I'd probably say, for me, I would have to say The Summoning. That was such a fantastic track, and that last portion of The Summoning, chef's kiss. We love it. But anyway, I'm done wasting your time here. We're gonna take a listen to the first song that I have up on here, which is Granite. So let's give it a listen. All right.
Sulfur on your breath, granite in my chest. You will never have to talk about it. You'll never want to talk about it. Fury, too damn late. Reason dislocates, and you'll never have to talk about it. You'll never want to talk about it. I was more than just a body in your passenger seat.
Ooh.
You were more than just somebody I was destined to meet. I see you go half blind when you look.
These layered vocals are really sick. The harmonies, ooh.
Between the second-hand smoke and the glass on the street, you gave me nothing whatsoever but a reason to leave. You say you want me, but you know I'm not what you need. When you sit there, acting like you know me, acting like you only brought me in.
Ooh, all right.
Never mind the death threats, plotting at the doorway. Rather be 6 feet under than be lonely. And if you had a problem, then you should have told me. Before you started getting all aggressive and controlling. You only drink the water when you
This is so catchy.
to keep an eye on the road, or we will both be here. More than just a body in your passenger seat, and you were more than just somebody I was destined to meet. I see you go half blind when you're looking at me, but I am between the second-hand smoke and the glass on the street. You gave me nothing whatsoever but a reason.
Oh, this is so good. Oh! Woo! What a stop!
I was more than just a body in your passenger seat, and you were more than just somebody I was destined to meet. I see you go half
All right, guys, that was Granite. I I always have a hard time putting into words when I listen to the track initially. Just with like Sleep Token, I feel like they're always trying to do something differently, and this is a prime example of doing something differently. I love that, you know, the thing that I was thinking about more recently with Sleep Token that really surprised me is they kind of remind me of what I would imagine issues would have been doing. Obviously they had, person who should not be named fronting issues at the time, and I almost thought they were going to go into this like pop, like R&B core sort of thing, and Sleep Token's really just taken the mantle and just run with it in such a beautiful way. Um and this is a prime example of how this band can be very much a gateway band. I saw someone post on social media and they're like, "Well, I don't I'm worried that other people who like different genres of music get into metal music." And that kind of frustrated me a little bit because I feel like this band can be very much a gateway band. I have no problem saying that there should be bands that fit that sort of mold. Um, and I think that this band has the sort of great pop structure, but also just have some really heavy moments. You can hear in some of the previous songs released, like the Summoning, that has like some really cool, like again R&B soul sort of feel, especially towards the end. But at the beginning of the song, it sounds super heavy, and you would have never expected that kind of break within a song. Maybe very similarly as well to Chokehold, where that one's, I would say, more in line with this song, which is has more of a like trap, like hip hop sort of pop feel to it, and then have some like really heavy guitars that work in. And I absolutely love that because I think that I've gotten older, I love listening to more music, different genres, things that I'm maybe not necessarily comfortable with. And I feel like this band, if I wasn't a metal fan, this is a band that and this is definitely a band I would show to other people that I feel like would work well because it does have elements of pop. That beginning section of the song, mostly pop. Like it was more of an electronic beat, kind of like lo-fi, a little bit poppy. Again, in that sort of issues vein, which I absolutely love, and I'm glad that they're kind of just going forward with that sort of sound. But then just like smack dab in the middle of the song or maybe a little bit after that, you get hit with like some really nice heavy guitars, and I think that that's great. They hit that stride point, and I think that's what makes it interesting to me is that their vocalist can kind of hit all of the marks where there could be stuff that's a little bit more on that sort of poppier side, and he can kind of tailor his voice to that, but then also go into some screaming, which I mean obviously we didn't hear in Granite, but there have been songs, the Summoning has screaming in it, as well as Chokehold. And so I think there's just a great variation of those types of genres, and I'm very curious to see how far of a barrier they can push this song in the direction that they're going in, or I guess more specifically their sound as a whole. And I really love it. This kind of feels to me like a next version of Sugar. That was like kind of the other song that I was thinking of Sleep Token. It definitely has that kind of like R&B kind of like soul feel to it, pop elements super strong in that song as well. And as I mentioned in the previous reaction video, I feel like this album thus far right now feels like a best combination of Sundowning and This Place Will Become Your Tomb. Um, in the best way possible. I think they took a lot of the more melodic elements of Tomb, and they took a lot of the more heavier elements of Sundowning and just meshed them together, taking a little bit of R&B influence obviously from Sundowning, and then also some of the more like ethereal like notation. Not that Sundowning didn't have that either, but I feel like it was a little bit more apparent in Tomb. So I like this one a lot. I imagine this probably is one that out of the Sleep Token fan base, I would imagine this one might not be as good as the other ones, but I like that. To me personally, there was this cool variation, this cool ideology to do something different, and I love the fact that they're kind of doing a like semi musical callback to Sugar a little bit in that sort of like R&B kind of like sort of styling. So be very curious to know what their influence are as a whole, because I really do feel like they had a wide variety of different genres. So love seeing it. Granite, I think this one's a great one. Is it my favorite out of the four? We'll have to find out. We have to check out Aqua Regia, but very excited to get into that one, which we will give a listen to right now. Guys, let me know down below again, as per usual, what's your favorite song that's been released by Sleep Token. I also find that it's very interesting that these songs are a little bit on, in terms of the time stamp, they are significantly smaller than the previous songs that were released. I think the other two songs before this, being Chokehold and The Summoning, were kind of in that sort of 6 to 7 minute ballpark. So this is significantly less, but you know, you can definitely fit in some good moments within a song like this. So Aqua Regia, let's give this a listen. Again, I'm sorry if I butchered the name of the song. I am not very good at pronunciating things. So let's give it a listen. Ooh. Beautiful piano work.
Well, my love is an animal call, cutting through the darkness, bouncing off the walls, between teeth on a broken jaw, following a blood trail, frothing at the mole. These days I'm a circuit board, integrated hardware you cannot afford. The perfect start to a perfect war, putting down the roses, picking up the sword. Aqua Regia.
Oh, it's Aqua Regia.
Aqua Regia.
Regia. See, I told you.
Well, my past is a holy book, a call from Olympus, ringing off the hook. Between the pain and the way you look, I'm stuck in a time where the mountains shook. And these days I'm a picture frame, screaming at the sunshine, singing in the rain. Sugar on the blood cells,
These like ethereal elements in the song, I like this.
Running through my veins. Aqua Regia, oxytocin running in the ether.
Ooh, a little jazz? Oh, okay.
Atomic interactions if it's all good. Gold rush, acid flux,
What a chord transition. Oh, this is hot.
running to your heart when you're thinking of.
All right. Oh, what a... Oh, this is gorgeous. She gorgeous. She gorgeous.
When I'm done dancing to alarm bells,
All right.
no wonder my ears are still ringing.
Tell him.
And I'm done fighting off change. No wonder my arms are still swinging.
Oh my God.
Oxytocin running in the ether. Silicon ballrooms, subatomic interactions if it's all good. Gold rock, acid flux, saturate me, I can't get enough. Cold love, hot blood, right into your heart when you're thinking of.
Oh my god. They did not have to hit us with that jazz banger. God. Oh my god. Aqua Regia? I don't even fuck. I have no idea how to say it. I'm gonna dub in what he says over. I probably won't actually, but anyway. Aqua Regia. This one, I this one surprised me the most. I think, again, I think the summoning most like I feel like that was like the most like reaction face I could have given. But this one I feel like I hit you guys with like the stank face. Also, I feel like I totally went Tom DeLonge on that like vocal part. So totally unintentional. Um no, but I feel like this one has more of a larger, like, kind of like jazz kind of influence, a little jazz soul in there, which I was not expecting at all. And I love that incorporation of different genres. This one, this one surprised me. I think the best one out of all the songs. As much as I felt like the summoning that song absolutely decimated my soul, I feel like this one was just surprising in the sense that when I was learning how to play guitar, I had a large appreciation. My guitar teacher had a large appreciation for jazz music. I personally didn't understand it at the time, and as I kept going, I started to get really into jazz music, got into more of the like math rock sort of stuff, and I know a lot of those artists use some sort of like jazz chord phrasing, and then really got into jazz music as a whole too. And I feel like this song really just hit me with all the kind of jazz feels, just the way that the kind of chord structure, the descending chord changes, some of the melodic layering, some of the cadence or the timbre of not only the vocals but also kind of the lyricism and the way that the songs fit within the chord structure. I thought that was really beautiful. A lot of the just great ethereal elements from This Place Will Become Your Tomb really make their self known within a song like this. But this is, I would argue, this is unlike what we've heard thus far from Sleep Token. And, as I mentioned in the previous song, Granite, I feel like they are taking on different genres or different kind of, I don't want to say tasks because that sounds really interesting and probably not the word I'm actually looking for, but I feel like they're taking on a different way of looking at music. That if you are a fan of kind of a multitude of different genres, then you'll definitely like first and foremost. But as well as that, if you're into heavy music, I feel like the first two songs that they released were probably, I would argue, probably the heaviest two songs that they've released in their catalog. But I'd also say it's probably the heaviest two songs that I would imagine they're going to be releasing. I'd be very surprised if maybe they release another heavier song. That's just kind of my guess. Because I know they kind of hit that lane where, like with Sundowning, you have like The Offering, you have Gods, you have, those heavier tracks. And then I feel like with This Place Will Become Your Tomb, there wasn't too many heavier songs. I think the Hypnosis is one that I can kind of think of off the top of my head in regards to like heavier songs. But overall, I think most of the stuff has been mostly in that sort of melodic category. So for them to have two heavier songs, and then two songs that are a little bit more, I would say, if you're a Sleep Token fan, I feel like that's not out of the pocket for you. But if you haven't heard of the band and you've just been seeing their resurgence on your social media and like people posting about them, then I feel like if you stumbled across either Granite or Aqua Regia, I feel like those two songs are probably not going to give you the best idea. So, I mean, personally, I would probably recommend listening to the two oddball tracks being, and that's not a discount at all. I love both of them equally as much, but I would say this song, Aqua Regia, and I also check out like The Summoning. I think those two right now are the best two singles to listen to if you haven't heard of Sleep Token. So go do that. If you're a fan of all of it, check it all out, of course, and I imagine you will. But I think this one might be the front runner for me in terms of favorites thus far. I just think it is really just like motif heavy. It's very musical, and I think if you are, if you do know about jazz and you're a little bit more studied in like musical structures and the way that certain chords kind of fit phrasing wise, this this is a love song to you. But I also feel like if you are into just like really great kind of melodic tempo, and as well as that, just a fun like vibey sort of track, I think Granite does a great job of that too. So I really do feel like they're hitting the entire gambit thus far. Having 4 songs out in like the span of like under a week is kind of wild. So either A, this album is very long, or they're giving us a lot of treats at the beginning, and the album's going to be coming out pretty soon. I don't know if they have a date on it, but I know it's going to be. If I can find a date, I'll throw it up here. But yeah, really dug these 2 tracks. I would say out of the two, Aqua Regia is probably my favorite of the two, but Granite is a very close second. And you know I'm gonna be listening to all 4 of these songs so much now. Very excited for the new album. Guys, let me know in the comments what you think about these new songs. As I mentioned, they just dropped, and honestly, they're all great. So go check them out. If you enjoyed this content, make sure to share, like, subscribe. It goes a long way. I am uber close to getting 500,000 views for the entirety of the channel. And honestly, couldn't be more proud and more humbled that you guys have chosen to support what I do and care about what I do. It's much love. If you just came and you checked out this video, I would appreciate you just checking out some of the other stuff that I have going on in the channel. It's always greatly appreciated, and love all you guys. Again, let me know down below what your favorite Sleep Token songs that have been released. Would love to know that. And then also let me know if there's any bands you'd love me to react to. Drop them in the comments. Would love to check them out as well. So keep me up to date, you know, because there's a lot of great new music coming out, and I want to know what you guys are listening to. So thank you guys for watching. Love all your faces, and hope to see you in the next video.